before we dive into the fascinating story behind Netflix's Korean War epic, Uprising. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to stay up to date on the latest movie news and reviews. Okay. As a historian with a deep interest in Asian history, I find myself deeply moved by the narrative of Uprising. Having spent years studying the Imjin War and its impact on Korea, it is captivating to see this complex historical event brought to life on screen through unique lens. With the film's focus on internal strife, particularly the class unrest that escalates during the war, resonates profoundly with me, as I too have witnessed how power structures can oppress and marginalize people in my own research and personal experiences. Titled Uprising, Netflix's latest Korean action war epic chronicles the tumultuous bond between Chun-myung, portrayed by Gang Dong-won, and Jung Ryo, starring Park Jung-min. This friendship unfolds over several decades, set against the backdrop of the late 16th century Joseon dynasty's Neo-Confucianist society. Chun-myung is a slave with exceptional swordsmanship skills, while Jung Ryo is a nobleman's son grappling with his privileged position and ideals. In 1592, when Japan launches an invasion on the Korean peninsula, initiating what would become known as the Imjin War, both men take up arms. Chun-myung enlists in the Righteous Army, a loosely organized militia made up of civilians, while Jung Ryo remains with King Sanjo as he flees the capital and largely abandons his people to their fate. The film War Chaos reflects this narrative division into war and its aftermath. The Imjin War, fought between Japan and Korea in 1592, has deep-rooted implications for the self-perception of Koreans towards both Japan and its people. This conflict, although not a part of the American curriculum, also involved China's Ming Dynasty, which sent vast numbers of troops to aid Korea, leading to significant casualties. At that time, Korea was under the Joseon Dynasty, which had been in power since 1392, and is recognized for cultural advancements like the creation of the Korean alphabet, Hangul in 1443. In my perspective as a movie critic, the Joseon Dynasty period was marked by the emergence of an elite class known as the Yongbon. This group, predominantly composed of civil servants and military officials, represented the highest echelon in a deeply stratified society. Jung Ryo would have been part of this distinguished circle, despite their potential for military service and high-ranking leadership roles. The government did not compel them to serve, even during times of war. The movie Uprising manages to condense a significant amount of Korean history within its 2-hour span, yet it never comes off as overtly educational due to its action-packed nature. The drama in the film primarily revolves around its central relationship, which is deeply rooted in its historically rich context. As actor Park expressed, most Koreans are aware of the war and the volunteer militia, but what this project taught him was not just the facts, but also the emotions that lay hidden beneath those facts. In 1598, when Japanese forces departed from the Korean peninsula following the war, it's been estimated that as many as 500,000 soldiers from Japan, China, and Korea had lost their lives. And despite Choson emerging victorious, the region and its inhabitants suffered immense destruction. According to research by the Aftermath Project, some figures suggest that up to 2 million people in Joseon, equating to about 1/5 of the population, had perished or been abducted, boho bright. The main theme of Uprising revolves around class struggle that intensifies during the war, as portrayed through its primary characters, particularly Chanyang. During the war, Chanyang conceals his slave status and employs his fighting abilities to assist Choson in winning the conflict, anticipating lasting freedom as a reward. As Gang explains, he becomes a hero and he lives in freedom. However, after the war, surprisingly, he is forced to return to the lowest class. In this movie, although General Genshin serves as the overt antagonist representing the Japanese invaders, Uprising presents Sanjo, a figure often depicted in Korean people aristocratic system. He symbolizes as the main antagonist. According to this historical figure was primarily focused on preserving his throne, using power and resources at his disposal, which included people. He was indifferent to anything else, not even caring about the number of lives lost during the war in order to protect his rule. For Kim, who hadn't directed a movie in nearly a decade prior to this project, the exploration of internal conflicts made Uprising stand out from typical war films. There have been numerous films where the enemy is the one invading, says Kim. And I didn't want to make a film about that storyline. Instead, I wanted to create a narrative in which an external invasion serves as a catalyst for the collapse of the internal well-established system. That was the tale I wish to share. During the Indian War, although the Joseon caste system wasn't fully dismantled, it experienced a temporary weakening, which led to instances of widespread rebellion as depicted in Uprising. As the citizens of Choson, frustrated by King Sanjo's decision to abandon Seoul, who ultimately set fire to the Gyeongbokgung Palace, not the Japanese invasion forces. Even though the Imjin War may be unfamiliar to many international viewers, Kim believes it's the themes of class consciousness that will make Uprising relatable. The reason people find these themes so compelling is because although it's not explicitly stated or controlled by social structures now, there remains a sense of class division. Explains Kim, Alex Force, and Robinson details Richmond, and Riles. Kim, this could be economic or generational power, but I believe that these themes are still very much relevant and therefore resonant. For Actor Park, there's a second profoundly relatable international theme that echoes strongly within him. Nearly every nation has experienced conflict at some point in their past. And he explains, whether it be centuries ago in Korea or currently taking place on another continent, wars are essentially losses for the country and no one truly benefits for them. And on that note, I'll leave you with a joke. Why did the war movie go to therapy? Because it had a lot of battle scars. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.